Hey guys, this is Nod Lammers of Invoked 101, and today we're taking a look at my Dark Magician deck profile. This deck has seen a lot of change since the last time I put it on camera, and I'm kind of excited to show it off. It's gotten a lot different, mostly because I've acquired new cards, and just generally made it a better version of the deck that I was playing. So, of course, we're playing 3 Dark Magicians. You gotta play 3 different artworks, because no one can decide which artwork is the best, even though we all know that this one is. This one being a close second. I'm running the ugly artwork because he looks cool, and that's the only reason why I'm running it. Next up is 3 Apprentice Illusion Magician. She's also really good. Some people run her at 2. I like running her at 3. I'm actually just gonna kind of like start stacking these up. I like running her at 3 because you kind of want to see her for the most part in every opening hand. Plus, she having 3 opens the door to more to easier rank 6 plays essentially, and plus it's not bad to have her in the hand for discard for the honest effect. So I think she's pretty good at 3. Next up, the one that everyone knows you need to play at 3, which is 3 Magician's Rod. Searches any spell card spell or trap that says Dark Magician on it. So that's nice. Does not search Eye of Timaeus, which kind of sucks, but that's alright. The new guy, or at least the new guy to me, 2 Magician of Dark Illusion. Finally got my hands on a couple copies of this guy. So what he does is he's treated as Dark Magician on the field and in the graveyard, and then if you activate a spell or trap on your opponent's turn, he special summons himself in defense mode. He has reverse Dark Magician stats, so 21, 25, and I think that's all he does for the most part. Oh, he also summons Dark Magician. Yeah, but he also summons Dark Magician from the graveyard, but that effect can only be used once. So, I think he looks pretty cool too. He also kind of looks like one of the cooler artworks. He looks like this one, so I really like. I like him. I like him. He looks rad. He does cool effects. Next up, I'm running 3 Chocolate Magician Girl still. She's the only Magician Girl left in the deck. Sad. That's just for some more consistency, kind of. You discard a spellcaster and then draw a card. So you can discard a Dark Magician and then draw a card off of her and then revive the Dark Magician later on. So that's pretty nice. And to round out the monsters, 1 Blue Boy. I do believe this is 15 monsters. I'm not running any hand traps, although if I was running hand traps, I'd take out the Chacos. So, if you must know, if you must run hand traps. I might show off some combos at the end of the video, but I'm not 100% yet. So let's move into the spells, because the spells is the next biggest part of this deck. We are running 3 Dark Magic Circle, because it is like the best spell in the deck. It's basically a pot of duality for any Dark Magician or Dark Magician spell or trap when it's activated. And then whenever Dark Magician is special summoned, including Magician of Dark Illusion and the Dragon Knight, it can banish a card, but only once per turn. But it also does activate on your opponent's turn, so that's really nice. Next up, 2 Dark Magic Inheritance, banish 2 spells, search a Dark Magician spell or trap. Is it Dark Magician or Dark Magic? A spell card that specifically says Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, except Inheritance. So that's pretty nice. This card is, I like this card. It's pretty good, in my opinion. 1 Illusion Magic, you only ever need 1. It's okay if you draw it. Usually I search it off of this card, so it's fine. 1 Eye of Timaeus, you only need 1, so it's whatever. 2 Dark Magic Veil. What this card does is it's kind of like a Monster Reborn from... You pay 1,000 and you summon a Dark Spellcaster from your hand or graveyard, and... yeah, that's it. It's a really simple effect, so it's kind of like a Monster Reborn. It's not once per turn, which is really nice, so yeah, it just looks cool. Sadly, it's not searchable, but it's a good card nonetheless. Another 3 of card, 3 Pot of Duality. It's just in case we don't get Circle. Sure, it stops us from special summoning, but we're doing a lot of the special summoning on our opponent's turn, so that's nice. 1 Secrets and 2 Knowledge to round out our Spellbook engine. This engine is really dope in this deck. I've been playing this engine in a lot of my decks, but that's because I've been playing a lot of spellcastery things lately, so. But yeah, so definitely getting some worth out of that. 2 Magical Dimension. This card comes up every now and then, but not a lot, but it lets you pop a card, so that's pretty nice. No one's really playing this. You can take this out for whatever you really want. I'm playing it because I've liked it every now and then. One Dark Magic attack. This is really nice because it's a Harpy's Feather Duster for the entire, all you need is Dark Magician on the board. And since there's like 3 cards in this deck that turn into Dark Magician, and there's 6 copies of that card total, of those cards total, it gets off pretty easily. Plus it's searchable off of like everything. One Upstart Goblin because, you know, we're playing 39 cards, boys. It's also because I couldn't find another card I wanted to put in the deck. So, you know, there you go. You want to put something else in there instead of Upstart, go for it. So as for the traps, we're running 3 Eternal Soul. This card is busted. Not really, it's actually fairly well balanced. So what it does is whenever, once per turn, and since it's a trap, it can be during either player's turn, you can either A, special summon a Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard, or B, search a Thousand Knives or Dark Magic attack. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, destroy all cards you control, and it also makes your Dark Magicians unaffected by card effects. So pretty rad card overall, with its drawback. Very, very good card. I almost scooped it up. Next up is 2 Magician Navigation. Special summon a Dark Magician, a level 7 Dark Spellcaster from your hand. Then you can special summon 1 level 6 Spellcaster out of 1 level 7 or lower Spellcaster out of your deck. Then, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it to negate a spell or trap card's act. I think it's just a face-up spell or trap. Yeah, target a face-up spell or trap your opponent controls, it has its effect negated. So yeah, so you can, since it's a trap, you can use it. It's like Segfried in the D deck. You can just like negate Regeki with it. And then 1 Mere Force, because we're playing Yugi. We're Yugi boys. I don't know. Mere Force and Dark Magician, I don't know. They just work together, I guess. So that's it for the main deck. Main deck is 40 cards exact. I like it. I like that. I like the layout of it. I think it works for a fun little Dark Magician deck. Anyway, as for the extra deck, we're going to start with the fusions, then we'll go to the XEs and then the links. So, 1 Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. I'm only playing 1 because I only own 1, because you don't really need, and honestly, I'm not playing the super heavy fusion build, so I'm just running the 1. 1 Dark Paladin. Sometimes he's better than this guy, but not all the time. 1 Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. I actually forgot why she's in here. 1 Amulet Dragon. You never make this. This should be another copy of this guy, because this guy protects your back row, and he's really good. This guy gains a bunch of attack points. If you're playing against like Blue Eyes or like, what are they called? Rockets. This is good. Like any dragon deck, you just make this against and you kind of win. Plus, if you like need to negate more stuff, he's pretty good for that. This is really bad. This guy's pretty alright. These are the only 2 that I've ever really summoned out of the fusion lineup. So I used to run 1 Dark Magician of Chaos to recycle the Timaeus. But yeah, that's it for the fusions. For the XEs monsters, we're running 2 Ebon. There we go. 2 Ebon Illusion, because he's like the best one. He summons Dark Magician out of the deck. Whenever a normal spellcaster declares an attack, he gets to banish a card. So yeah, that's pretty good. He's 25, 21, so his same stats as Dark Magician. 1 Ebon High Magician. He's pretty bad. He has 23, 28. So, you know, he's like slightly, but he's like 2... no, he's not. He doesn't have any like weird stats change. But you put him in defense mode, he kind of sucks. He's not the greatest. Yeah. Then 1 Galaxy Tomahawk, because it makes tokens. 1 Big Eye, because it steals stuff. 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, because it burns and it hurts the opponent. Plus it's 28, so that's pretty nice. And it can't be destroyed by card effect while it has Xyz material, I believe. It's either if it has a Red Eyes as Xyz material, or just any Xyz material. Well, it has, yeah, so pretty good card. And now for the Link monsters, we're running 1 Proxy Dragon, because he's kind of neat. 1 Underclock Taker, because he's pretty good. 1 Decode Talker, because he's also pretty good. 1 Saryuja, because I own him and I just felt like putting him in the deck profile. And 1 Tapa Logic, because I actually like him in this deck. I think he's the superior. I think he's the better rank for this deck. I think he's better overall. Basically, if you have your Xyz monsters and they're dead, like I've had trouble getting this guy off of the field whenever, so having the Topo and the extra just kind of like helps get him off the board, as does the Proxy. Just kind of help clearing the board, and plus you can turn the 2 vanillas into a proxy, or 2 tokens into a proxy, and then make this one. So that's really it for this deck. I actually really like this deck. I think this deck is pretty rad. Dark Magician is one of those decks that, like, I would have liked it better if it wasn't Dark Magician. For some reason, I don't know. Like, I like the deck. I like it enough, and I like its playstyle. I just wish that the main monster it focused around wasn't this guy. Like, yeah, he's cool and all, but he was the reason that this card was $80 when it was made, when it first came out. So that was kind of upsetting, because this deck could have been, like, really cool if people could afford it, and it actually did show some promise, and people still think it has a lot of potential. I still think that it has some potential, and since it's Dark Magician, it is going to get continuous support throughout the years. But anyway, tell me what you guys think about the deck profile in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.